A happy Thursday to you. Welcome to the Blueprint. We are here for a very, very special edition of today's Blueprint. I see some folks coming into the chat. I am super excited. Welcome in, welcome in. Listen, folks, it is Beats for a Cure Day. It is a very, very, very special broadcast of the Blueprint. I am super excited to be here. For those who might be new to Twitch or new to the chat, let me introduce myself. My name is Kim Blue. I am an HR strategist and a career coach. Welcome to the Blueprint. This is a space where we come on Tuesdays and Thursday mornings, usually at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, to chop it up about all things personal and professional development. But today is a very special edition. We are on at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time because the Blueprint is part of a massive raid train. It's called Beats for a Cure. We are here to raise awareness and resources for breast cancer research. So I'm honored to be asked. Shout out to DJ D-Man, one of the fam, who extended the invitation to me to join for the next few days. Every streamer and DJ and mod who's going to be participating will be supporting this, those who were invited. So thank you so much for being here. I see folks making their way into the chat. Lots and lots of exciting things going on. Lots of people to thank, lots of housekeeping. So we're going to get that out of the way. I'm going to start to say hello to those who have already made their way in. And then we're going to get this thing going because I got 2 hours with y'all and I am thrilled, thrilled, thrilled. So with that being said, let's say hello to who's in here. So good morning to my mod boss extraordinaire, Malak Journey. Thank you so much for being here, for always riding with me shotgun in this train every Tuesday and Thursday. Appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Kitty Bradshaw, welcome in. My guy, Big Stove 216. Listen, y'all, if you were not in Big Stove's stream this morning, he is my fellow Beats for a Cure conductor today. He was killing it in his stream this morning, absolutely killing it. And I am just so grateful that I got a chance to spend some time with her. Go give that guy a follow. You will not regret it. Thank you so much for being here, Big Stove. Shout out to Lock and Key Media, who is guest modding for me today. And there is the raid coming in right on time. So excited. Come on in, Raiders. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in and make yourselves comfortable. I will get back to the greetings as the Raiders come in, and then I will reintroduce myself. But I see everyone coming in. Come on in, Raiders. Make yourself comfortable. Welcome to the Blueprint. Welcome to this special Blueprint Beats for a Cure edition. So excited to see all of you. Come on in. Come on in. Listen, folks, the KK23, let me just go ahead and give a massive shout out to her. So y'all, if y'all are seeing the KK23 in here, listen, she is a personal friend of mine from outside of the Twitch community. I will not give too much of her identity away. What I will say is that the KK23 and I go back a long way. We worked together at ESPN. She is a massive supporter of music. She is a supporter of creativity. She just dropped, I think, 10 subs into the chat. So the KK23, shout out to you. Good to see you. Thank you for supporting the Blueprint. So excited to see you in here. Come on in, Raiders. Make yourselves at home. Happy to see you. Welcome in. Cool DJ Frank, I think you complimented me and told me that my camera was amazing. Let me say thank you to you for that compliment. Let me also take this moment to shout out my guy, Lock and Key Media, also known as K-Lock. I am broadcasting live from his studios today. So all of this gorgeous setup is courtesy of him. So if my camera looks good, I will not take any credit to that. I'll give that to him. He doesn't know it yet, but he is getting ready to become K-Blue Consulting / the Blueprint's unofficial chief technology officer, chief product officer, so that I can always look this good on camera, right? So welcome in, Raiders. Come on in, make yourselves comfortable. Super excited to see you. Thank you for being here. Let's see who is right. K-Lock, I'm sure you're like, what's going on? But that is going to be you. That is going to be you. So listen, folks, all of the blue lights, all of the accoutrements, this is all him. I came in and sat down and he set all of this up for me. So grateful to have him alongside me on this. He is also guest modding for me today because we have got all the family in the chat coming in as we kick off the next couple hours of Beats for a Cure. So if you have never been here before, let me introduce myself. My name is Kim Blue. I'm an HR strategist, a career coach. I have been working in HR for the last 15 years, and this is the blueprint. This is where we come and chop it up about all things personal and professional development. I fundamentally believe that everybody should be the boss of their own blueprint, and that means you should have access to the knowledge, skills, capabilities, and resources so you can do three things, right? You can operate at your highest potential. You can add value to whatever work you own or are responsible for, but most importantly, you can show up as your authentic self, because when you can be you, you don't have to dim your light. You don't have to shrink back. You can be great in your gifts. And then everybody gets the benefit of you being your most authentic self. So this is where we come, we do the work, we hold our mirror, we show love, and we show support. This is a safe space. So over the next 2 hours, we're just going to have a conversation. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to do a little work. You're going to learn something about me. I'm going to learn something about you. And most importantly, we are going to support an amazing cause. So again, shout out to DJ D-Man for the invite. Shout out to my fellow Beats for a Cure streamers and DJs today. I am honored to be alongside of you. Shout out to Ray Domingo for the raid and for bringing everybody over. Thank you so much for being here. Happy to have you. And for anybody who is the first time, welcome to the Blueprint. For all the new followers, for anybody who has come in, if you are going to gift any type of bits today, all contributions and donations will go directly to the Beats for a Cure. So here's where you can make the donation. You see the banner down there at the bottom. That is my direct link. The Blueprint is looking to meet its goal of $1,000 today over the next couple hours. So all hype trains will go directly to Beats for a Cure today. So thank you in advance. And again, shout out to the KK23 for coming in hot with the gift subs today to the Blueprint. Appreciate you. So listen, so many folks who are coming in and showing me already that they are first timers. So I see Fluffy Kaluo. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome in for the first time. There are so many folks who are in here. I am not going to be able to catch everybody, so please charge it to my head and not to my heart. I am excited to have all of you in here. Supporting the Blueprint, but more importantly, supporting Beats for a Cure. So I'm just going to give a couple of shout outs, and then we are absolutely going to jump right into our conversation for today. Okay. So again, my Lock Journey, Lock and Key Media, thank you so much for being my mod squad today and supporting this space. East Smiley, Kitty Bradshaw, welcome in. The Kim Gems are going to be flowing, sis. Thank you so much for coming in to support this space. I know DJ LV, who was that is where we are going at the end of today's stream. So shout out to you, LV. Thank you so much for being here and supporting this space. Misty Mountain, welcome in. CA Gregory, right? Folks who are coming in from Ray Domingo's stream. So you guys went from the UK back to the US, broadcasting live from Atlanta, Georgia this morning. Ebony ATL, so many folks who are in here. Listen, I don't want to miss anybody, so I'm just going to say big love to everybody who was in Ray's stream. And thank you for staying for the raid. Thank you for rocking with me for the next 2 hours. Again, not a DJ, but I do my thing and I have my own flavor, and I hope that you'll find value in what it is that I have to say. If at any point during the stream you make a donation, please drop the Beats for a Cure headphones emote in the chat so I can shout you out personally and make sure that I am showing some love to those who are choosing to donate. And then a reminder that all hype trains will go to Beats for a Cure today. So DJ Dash, shout out to you. Thank you so much for being here. Music Spasms, welcome in. Good to see you. Spasms is my fellow Beats for a Cure mate today. He will be on later this afternoon. So if you're not following him already, go do that. In fact, really, truly go follow everybody. These next 4 or 5 days into next week are going to be magnificent, and we're all here for a good cause. Okay. So I see the donations coming in already. Thank you so much for being here and for contributing to all of this. Raiders, if you're still trickling in, all good. Make yourselves comfortable. I don't bite, but I do tell the truth, and I make sure that people are here for it. So what do we do here in the Blueprint? We have conversations. And my goal is to take everything that I've learned over the last 15 years in HR and business development and as a coach, and help make sure that you can walk away from this conversation with things that you can use immediately, whether it's in your next conversation, whether it's in a job interview, whether it is in a conversation with a family member or a friend. We definitely do the work here, and we are all about making sure that you can remain the boss of your own blueprint. So if you are here for that, I want you to drop your favorite blue emote in the chat, and let's get going on today's conversation. So Today, we're going to talk about a couple of things. Good morning, folks. As I see folks coming in, DJ MC2J, man, shout out to you. Thank you so much for being here. I see you. We're going to talk about a couple of topics today. We're going to open up with a question that says, are you a vitamin or are you a painkiller? Now, you might be thinking to yourself, what is that? But don't worry, stick with me, and I promise you that I'm going to explain what that is. And then we're going to talk about growth mindset. And then I'm going to make sure that I talk to you about me. So I'm going to tell you my story, and I'm going to relate it to all of our Beats for a Cure community. And I'm going to talk to you about my dad, because my dad is a cancer survivor. That is ultimately what took his life. And I'm going to share that story with you. But I'm also going to talk to you about how I was the vitamin in his life when he needed it most, in particular, because I think he wanted to be a painkiller in mine. And I want to help make sure that you are connecting to that and connecting to your story, but also understanding the importance of choosing to be a vitamin over a painkiller. So virtual salute to everybody who is coming in. Listen, if you are commuting, if you are working and lurking, if you are tabbed up in this stream, if you are supporting another streamer, thank you for being here. No matter what you're doing, if you've got presence, whether you're active in the chat or you're behind the scenes, you're here. Whether you come in for the whole time or 1 minute before I raid out, right? Appreciate you being here. So with that, let's jump right in. So listen, folks, I am like a slide presentation kind of girl. So we're going to have them for the background. You're going to see me move in and out of them a little bit because there's going to be times that I'm talking directly to you, and then there's going to be times where we need a little context. So we're just going to flow with this. So I'm going to add this to the stage so we can get ourselves going. So here we go. This is the blueprint. Beats for a Cure, Beats for a Cure edition. All right. So here is what we're going to talk about today. We're going to jump right into our next slide. So bear with me for just a second. All right. So the question is, are you a vitamin or are you a painkiller? And you might be thinking to yourself, what is that? And I want to make sure that we know what that is. Tantrum on the check-in, I see you. Thank you so much for being here. Happy Thursday to you, King. All right. So whether or not you're a vitamin or a painkiller, so you might be thinking, what is that? You at any point in time may be both. Okay. So vitamins versus painkillers are the things that are going to influence our mindset. And we're going to dive into mindset as a whole, meaning what are the components of mindset? How do we find ourselves ebbing and flowing in between both of those? Because sometimes you might start out as a vitamin and you might recognize later on that you're really trying to be a painkiller. And so you want to know how you're showing up. And we're going to talk through all of that. I'm going to drop some Kim Gems for you today, right? That's what the people call it whenever I'm saying things that resonate with them or that leave them feeling like, yo, that's me, right? And so listen, in advance, please, if I step on your toes, please, if you feel like I'm talking to you, please, if you feel like I'm calling you out, it is from a place of love. I promise you, I am saying this because I want you to be your best. But most important, I want to make sure that you can be your authentic self. I believe in that. And that's how I show up every day. Anybody who knows me knows that. I see my Journey KB Brown's on the check-in. Good to see you, King. They're already coming in with the steel toe boots. If you need gear, right? If you need a hug, if you need coffee, if you need a vest, if you need a hard hat, please see my Journey or Lock and Key Media. They can support you and get you what you need. The Miss Sweet Tea, good morning. Good to see you, sis. Happy Thursday. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you. Folks are coming in on the check-in. Thank you in advance to everybody again who is lurking behind the scenes. Virtual salute to you. Appreciate you being here. All right. So let's jump right in and talk about being a vitamin or a painkiller and how that influences your mindset. So let's just jump in right off the top. Everybody see that quote? It says, whatever you're not changing, you're choosing. And I'm sure you're like, well, you're just going to hit us in the face with that immediately. Yes, I want to put that out there and just say that to you. Every day that we step into our lives, ladies and gentlemen, whatever that is, work, family, friends, community, whatever social places that we are a part of, you choose that. You choose the people. You choose the things. You choose whatever it is that you're going to say. You choose your energy, your mood, whatever interactions you have, you are choosing them. And whether or not they are in service to you is on you. Sometimes we want to say, well, there's environmental factors and there's all types of things. And there are. I don't want to discredit that. But what I also want to do is hold you accountable for your role in all of this. Psalmist, I see you. Good morning. Good morning. DJ Aqua, welcome in. Good to see you. Thank you so much for being here as well. And so, what I want to make sure that we understand is that every day we step into this choice, it's ours. No one else owns our choices, ladies and gentlemen. We own our choices. Okay. No one else owns them. So, whatever you are not changing, you are choosing. Let me be very clear about that. You choose your energy, you choose your mindset, you choose whether or not you are motivated. You choose your mental attitude. And we're going to talk about what each one of those means, because all of those things influence what I like to call your emotional capacity. Our emotional capacity is sort of what I call this thermometer or a litmus test that helps us understand how we're feeling about something. Anybody in here ever go to a place or know that you're obligated or you've made a commitment to do something, but your energy about it is all off and you're thinking, oh, I don't want to deal with these people. Or, oh, every time I go here, they always have this and they don't have that. And I wish this was better, or I wish this was something else, right? That mental attitude influences your emotional capacity. Your emotional capacity is what's going to determine if your motivation is high, mid, or low. And by mid, I mean kind of below average or less than, perhaps not even at the place that you want to be. I'm watching you people. Welcome in. Good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. So what I want to make sure, I'm just chuckling at my mods because they're having a conversation out loud about me in the stream. And right. And they will tell you I do this. I just came in and I didn't give them any warning. I was just like, we're going in straight. And so I want everybody to acknowledge this whole notion that we choose the things that we want. And if we don't enjoy them, if they are not in service to us, we have one choice. We can change it, or we can stick with it. But understand, by sticking with it, you say to yourself, I'm okay with all of the things that come with this. I'm okay with the smoke. I'm okay with people's comments. I'm okay with everybody's opinions. I'm okay with knowing that it's not quite up to par, that it's not at my best. You are accepting the environment as it is. Okay. And when you choose to do that, that means your mindset, your motivation, your mental attitude, and your emotional capacity are going to be a direct result of whatever it is that you are not changing. Let me say that again. Okay. I see you, Kayla. Let me tell you something, folks. I'm going to say that again. Whatever it is that you choose, if it is not in service to you and you don't change it, you own it. So you're responsible for that. And you can't put the blame on the environment or on anybody else, right? Hobbs, I see you. Welcome in. Double Spirit, I see you. Welcome in. Y'all, my regulars are coming in here and they're like, see, she's starting out immediately. I feel like if we just go in, we're off, because at this point we're past the pleasantries, right? So we're just going to go in and make sure that we start out together, because we're just going to ride this train all the way through. And we're going to make sure that we are doing the work. We're holding our mirrors. We're being the bosses of our own blueprint. And sometimes when you're a boss, things are uncomfortable. Nobody said it was always going to be sunflowers and rainbows. Sometimes you're going to trudge through a little bit of the mud, and understanding that whatever you are not changing, you are choosing, is you trudging through the mud. So let's rock through these 4 M's for a few minutes and talk about what this looks like. DJ Classics on the check-in. Good morning, Queen. Good to see you. Happy Thursday. Thank you so much for being here. So let's talk about mindset. Who knows that mindset is everything? Literally, your mindset is your internal monologue. It's what you think to yourself, but you might not be saying it out loud, right? Everybody has a mindset. It's literally the feeling or the approach you take towards whatever it is that you're going to do, whatever task that you own, the people that you're going to be around. If you're stepping into a space and you're saying, you know what, I know I need to do this, right? Let's talk about the gym. Anybody in here workout aficionados? I am. I love exercise, right? In fact, in my former life, and I'll tell you a little bit about me over the course of the stream so you can get to know me, okay? The Miss Sweet Tea. So let me tell you a little bit about me in my former life, right? From time to time, I see you, the KK23. So my former life, ladies and gentlemen, I used to work for ESPN. And you might be saying the ESPN, and the answer is yes. The four letters, the da-na-na, da-na-na, right? I used to work there, and I used to support all of the people that you see on television or on radio. And so I had the great pleasure of living in Connecticut for a few years. So shout out to anybody who is in the New England area. If you're in Boston, if you're in Connecticut, I lived in Hartford, I lived in Farmington, and then I did live in good old Bristol. I did a 10-year stint in Connecticut working for ESPN. And the first part of my career before I moved into HR, I actually worked at our corporate health and wellness center. So I spent a ton of time being a personal trainer. Yes, Lock and Key Media. I did a 10-year bid in Connecticut, right? And I had the great pleasure of training all of the on-air talent, but then everybody who worked behind the scenes. So all of the camera operators, anybody who was in the studio space, but then people who were not actually responsible for making television. They might have been in the sales and marketing side of the business, or they might have been in the technology side of the business. Either way, they used to come into the wellness center, and I used to teach all types of classes. So for those who understand the gym, right, you have a love-hate relationship with the gym, right? Anybody who gets up early to go to the gym, and let me say this, I am not a morning person, okay? I don't want to get up early to go anywhere, but I am not here for it at all, right? I am not here for it. So your attitude when you have to get up to go to the gym, let me see it in the chat, right? So for those who have to get up early, or for those who have to go to the gym, or for those who are stepping into it, how do you feel? What's your mindset when you're going into the gym, right? Throw me some emotes in the chat, right? Side eyes, a little bit of like, what, right? All of these faces. Linda Michelle, good morning to you, sis. Good to see you. KB Brown says he has a hate relationship with the gym. That's serious. The KK23 is just coming in with the lightning bolts off the rip. DJ Diamond Lee, good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Right. Devil Spirit says that her and the gym have broken up. Okay. They don't even have a relationship. She's just like, I'm through with you. I don't even do it. Okay. Lock and Key Media is like, what's the gym? What? Kitty Bradshaw says, girl. And my body says, girl. That could go either way. Like, girl, you need to get in the gym, but girl, we ain't going to the gym. So listen, Double Spirit says she's trying to reconcile her relationship with the gym. So listen, folks, I get it. Everybody's got a mindset about the gym, whether you go and you don't want to be there, whether you are there and you're just thinking about what you're going to eat when you leave the gym. But the point is, you have a mindset. You're thinking about what it means in your brain to get there. So there's this feeling that you have. Your mindset is absolutely going to determine your motivation. Dr. Donna Dundas, good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Letitia P, welcome in. She says, I work out at home, but when she's waking up, she's like, here we go. You don't like it, but you're necessary, right? All of you, but you all are relating to this. This is what I'm talking about. And I love it. I love that everybody's got this feeling, something that they can relate to, because your mindset directly influences your motivation. All right. Motivation is this whole feeling of how much energy, how much momentum, mental or physical energy or momentum do I have to put towards this activity, this ask, this task, this thing that I need to conquer, complete, whatever it is that I need to do to get to my end goal, right? How motivated am I? How much am I willing to put behind it? So you see those words up there. You got to think about it. That's the beginning of the motivation journey. Then you got to make a decision. I'm actually going to go to the gym, right? Or maybe I'm not going to go to the gym. But then once you make the decision, you have to commit to whatever it is that you decide. Now, we're going through all of these because the motivation then is going to come back to your mental attitude, because the mental attitude is the conversation you're having with yourself. Your mindset is how you feel about what you have to do, and your mental attitude is how you are talking to yourself. And we're going to talk about positive self-talk and negative self-talk in just a minute. Yes, cool, DJ Frank. It's the commitment. It is the commitment, full stop. So then once you make the commitment, yes, Miss Sweet Tea, come on, listen, because listen, folks, the commitment is where we mess up. The commitment is where it can all fall apart. We might say, yo, I'm going to go to the gym. And you've gotten up, you might have, listen, anybody like me, I sleep in my workout clothes so that I have zero reason in the morning when my feet hit the floor to not work out, right? My first 30 minutes of the day, I take my dog for a walk. Shout out to all the dog owners out there, pet lovers, fur mamas, fur parents, whatever it is, right? I am a fur parent. Okay. I have a 110-pound Rhodesian Ridgeback. His name is Griffin. He is also known as the head of security, right? Because if anything gets too close to my house, he is going to notify me for sure. And so I see Gregory, exactly right. And so I see Griffin first thing in the morning. And then after I walk Griffin, but before I wake my 9-year-old, there's about 15 or 20 minutes in there where I try to do body weight exercises work. So I sleep in my workout clothes. So I have zero excuse. Ask me how many mornings that the second part doesn't get done. Griffin is going to get on the walk, but am I down there doing push-ups and burpees and planks and squats and lunges and jumping jacks? It's touch and go, right? So that commitment, that's where the waiver comes in, right? It's where I waver. It's where I might be like, maybe I don't really have to, right? Maybe I don't necessarily need to. But then where's my focus, right? And if I'm not focused on my commitment, am I going to see success? And that's why you see focus and succession down there at the bottom, because it's those first three that are going to allow you to focus on where I need to put my time, my energy, and make sure that my motivation is in check before I'm going to see success. Success is the completion of whatever it is that we decide we want to do. It's not the actual work. It's once we have gotten through the work, once we have committed to saying, I'm going to see this through, even if it's a lot, even if it's not what I want to do, even if I don't necessarily like the environment that I'm in, I'm still going to do it. And when we've completed that task or we've completed that goal that we've set for ourselves, that's when we can say to ourselves, right, I succeeded. I succeeded in completing what it is that I wanted to do. Okay. So the motivation has to go through these cycles, and it might seem like, oh man, that takes a long time. It doesn't. You actually cycle through them pretty quickly. And that's the whole point. The point is to be able to say, I've thought about it and I've made the decision that I'm going to commit to the gym, or I'm going to commit to whatever it is that's in there. And we're going to talk in a minute about not committing to certain things and what that looks like. And this is what gets us to understanding whether or not we are a vitamin or a painkiller. Okay. So if you're just coming in, let me take a pause and reintroduce myself. My name is Kim Blue. Welcome to the Blueprint, and welcome to this special Beats for a Cure edition of the Blueprint. My name is Kim Blue. I'm an HR strategist and a career coach. Sending big love out to everybody who is working, lurking, and commuting. Virtual salute to you. And shout out to everybody who is active in the chat. You guys are really, really bringing the energy today. If you are interested in making a donation to Beats for a Cure, you can do that directly through the link, and I'll make sure that I put that up in just a moment. And then in addition to that, any hype trains that get kicked off today, all of that's going to be donated to Beats for a Cure. Shout out to DJ D-Man. I don't know if you're in the chat, D-Man, but if you are, good to see you. If you are streaming, salute to you. And thank you for inviting me to this. Happy to have everybody here. Shout out to Ray Domingo again for the raid, and everybody who came into the Blueprint ahead of the raid coming in. So when we think about this notion of our mental attitude, right? So our mindset is, I know I got to do this thing. The motivation is, let me check in with myself and see how I feel. And I got to get myself past the hump. So now you've made the commitment to do the thing you said you were going to do. Oh, C-Love, did I miss the ask for the raid out already? It's so early. We've been in 27 minutes. Did I miss it? Did I miss the early ask on the raid out? We only made it 27 minutes. Normally, y'all let me get closer to the top of the hour before someone says we need to raid out. Tantrum, listen, all gas, no breaks. Y'all got me for 2 hours today. How are you feeling about that? I'm sure you were like, oh my goodness, right? I think Big Stove said it in his stream yesterday. He was like, do you all know how lucky you are to have Kim Blue for 2 hours, right? Listen, get your inhaler, get your equipment, get your water bottle. Okay, whatever it is. C-Love says at minute 5, we were trying to raid out. Listen, I love you guys and I appreciate you being here. So let's talk more about the mental attitude, because now we've made the decision to say, I'm going to do this thing regardless of how I feel about it or whether I don't want to. I'm going to do it. Okay. The mental attitude is the conversation we're having with ourselves, right? So when you're in the gym, when you are working in this group of people, and anybody ever work in a group of people and they're just like, these two people I rock with, but there's this one person over here. We're just going to call this one person John, right? And everybody knows John, but everybody knows that John brings his own rhythm to the party, right? John doesn't ever really rock with everybody else. He's got his own little energy. And so your mental attitude is how you talk yourself through dealing with the fact that you've got to deal with this person who really might not be in your energy zone, or how you feel about the fact that you were on this step mill, or you were running on this treadmill, or you were lifting these weights, or you were on this bicycle when you would rather be doing something else. Okay. All of these things. Hobbs, go ahead and order oxygen masks for everybody in the stream. Okay. Because we're only on slide 3. And we've not even gotten to the whole vitamin or painkiller piece. Okay. Just go ahead. Just order one for me. Please go ahead and order one for K-Lock and My Life Journey. I'm sure they're going to need it. Right. Listen, y'all see that door back there? If K-Lock opens that door, you can't see it. Right. But if that door opens and you see a hand slide out, it might be a slight cry for help. Okay. So he might need it. Uh-oh. Did he just dim the lights on me so that I can't stay connected? Go ahead and just go ahead. Right. Y'all see him. Right. Music spasms. Listen, music spasms. He is in there. Kayla, can you let them know that you're okay? Can you just open the door very slightly and let them know that you're all right in there? He might not open the door, you guys. He might not even do it. There he is in the chat. There he is in the chat. I can only imagine what his mental attitude is about me right now. Right. Because listen, y'all, he put the blinking twice out there. Somebody who was in the Atlanta community, just come on by to come get him. Right. Miss KB. Okay. At least we do not have the shower on, you guys. So Tuesday, listen, inside joke about the shower. Just know it was a good time. Okay. So listen, your mental attitude. Oh my God. You guys are the best. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. And listen, thank you to everybody who's been making the donation over the course of the first half hour we have been in here. It has already flown by. Again, all donations you can use directly to the link. We will make sure that we get that in the chat and ensure that we put that up. Thank you in advance for helping the Blueprint make its goal of $1,000 to support the Beats for a Cure. So listen, our mental attitude is the way that we feel and how we're talking to ourselves about that. Okay. So it's the conversation we're having internally, and it directly comes from our mindset and all of the motivation, right? Because we're committed to the motivation, but what we haven't committed to is how we are going to show up for ourselves. And then the way we show up for ourselves is how we are going to be experienced by other people. So when we think about what we are saying to ourselves, right? When we think about how we are talking to ourselves, understand that if you are over here having a conversation with yourself like, oh, Lord, I had to go into this meeting. So-and-so is going to come in and they're always going to be talking to me, right? And they're always going to be talking to this. We got to raid real quick. So give me a pause right here, DJ Classics. Thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in, raiders who are coming in today. If you are not following DJ Classics, please do so. Classics, thank you so much for the raid and for supporting our Beats for a Cure stream this morning. She is always, always, always. Thank you so much. So when we talk about this whole notion of our mental attitude, it's really the conversation where we are saying how we feel about someone or something to the grander community, but it's only in our head. The grander community part of this is where we are saying out loud from the energy that's inside. Let me give you an example. So if you're in a meeting and you know that the person that you have to work with in this meeting is not your favorite person, and you know that they're coming in to sit right next to you, and you know that they're always on 10 and you're not a morning person, your mental attitude is, Lord, let me get ready for John, because John is going to come in here. He's about to ask me 576 questions. Okay. And I don't even want him to talk to me. I don't want him to say anything to me. I don't want him to sit next to me. I don't want him to ask me about my life, what I'm doing on vacation. I just want him to come in and sit down and don't say anything. Okay. Anybody have this experience? Lock and Key Media, I don't even want to know what you were saying over there, right? Cool DJ Frank says, meeting the colleagues I don't like, but just play. Yes. Yes. So these are, right. KB Brown says, my face tells them, don't sit next to me. Listen, sometimes your face may say one thing and your body language may say something. And I promise you, people will do whatever it is that they want to do anyway, because we are creatures of habit. Humans are people and people are peopling. Does anybody resonate with that? Humans are people, and people are out here people. And DJ OE, welcome in. Thank you so much for being here, OE. Listen, OE, I'm just trying to tell the truth. I promise you, I am here to say what it is that we all think and what our lived experience is. And I promise you, humans are people, and people are out here peopling. And so sometimes people do things and our mental attitude is, I don't even like this person. Why are they sitting next to me? They sit next to me every time. And every time I get up and move, and every time they come over and they sit next to me, I sat on this side of the table away from them. And here they come singing and smiling and asking me 11 questions. I don't even like you. I don't want to talk. Right. People are peopling. So these are the things that are always happening and always taking place. Kay Marie, welcome in. Listen, Kay Marie and I had this conversation a couple of weeks ago about how people and they do things. And I was talking to her about the work that she does and the work that I do, right? I think I said it to you guys. I'm in human resources. People are out here peopling, okay? And they do it on a regular basis. And your mental attitude is the conversation that you have about why people are peopling, because it's bothering you and it's giving you all of the things and all of the feels. And when people, they tap into your emotional capacity, and they absolutely, right, Kayla, looking at these humans like, what? Right. It's a little bit of the side eye. It's a little bit of the, it's a little bit of the, right. Any eye roll emojis that are in the chat, whatever that is. But it's that energy that you give about people, the way that they people. Okay. All of that taps into your emotional capacity. Okay. Right. The humans, see Love 702, DJ Varmar, welcome in. Good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Right. Humans are going to people at any given point in time because their motivations come from different places. So when you are watching people do what it is that they do, and they are tap dancing on your emotional nerves, they are right. They are tap dancing on all the capacity, right? Anybody ever show up to something and you already don't have it, and then somebody wants you to do more of it or give more, and you're like, I actually don't have it to give. I have nothing left. I don't have it. I don't want to do it, whatever it is. But you feel that space where you're saying, I'm absolutely tapped. My mentals don't have it. My energy doesn't have it. I'm not here for it. I don't want to do this today. Get somebody else to do it. What I want to do is sit in the corner, drink my water, sip my tea, mind my business, right? All of those are things. The KK23 says every day, Kim, every single day. And listen, I'm telling you, this is the space that we find ourselves in. And you have to make sure that you can check your emotional capacity, because if you don't, that is when we get to a place where we start to pop off on people. Right. Cool DJ Frank says every day you get to the place where you have had it up. Emotional capacity, ladies and gentlemen, is I've had it up to here. I have what's to give. Right. I don't even want to think about trying to give anything. Right. I want to make sure that I'm mindful of how much it is. Okay, K-Lock, thank you so much. Right, you're thinking about all these things and you don't have it to give, and people show up, right, fresh out, Big Stowe. I'm fresh out of them. What my saying is this: I wear pants without pockets because I don't even have any place to give my Fs. I don't have a place to store them. I don't have a place to put them. I don't have a place to do anything, right? I have no space for it because my emotional capacity is tapped. DJ Tank on the check-in, I see you. Thank you so much for being here, right? But when we know, folks, that our emotional capacity is tapped, that's where we get to the place where we are like, listen, I now need to make sure that I'm aware of what my mental attitude is, because that can influence my motivation and it's going to influence my mindset. Right. And the reason that all of this is important is because in your life, you may have to choose whether or not you are going to be a vitamin or a painkiller. Do I see this in the chat? That it was my fellow K. Marie, was it your birthday yesterday? We are going to stop and take a pause. Did I see that? Ladies and gentlemen, okay, listen, my fellow Scorpio sis. Yep, so shout out to all it is Scorpio season, ladies and gentlemen. So we are going to take a moment, find your favorite happy birthday emote. We are going to put some love in the chat for our girl, K. Marie. K. Marie is She is delightful. Let me just start there. And she is an avid supporter of this space, but she regularly says to me, I'm in the lurkers lounge, sis. So don't think I'm not there. I do my thing behind the scenes. And she kind of comes out when she needs to, support a point, and then she goes back quietly into the lurkers lounge. So if you don't mind finding your happy birthday emotes, let's show K Marie some love. Happy birthday, sis. I hope it was a fantastic day. I hope the start to this next trip around the sun is full of laughter, full of all the joy that you can stand, and just full of everything that you want it to be, right? May this year be about you. Right. So happy birthday. Thank you so much for putting that out there. Okay. All types of happy birthday and dancing emotes for K Marie. Okay. I hope it was a fantastic day for you. Greetings and salutations. Is it Mr. Shani? I'm going to butcher it. I'm so sorry. Absolutely. That good Scorpio energy. Okay. So thank you so much, Cheney. Okay. I got it. Mr. Cheney, G class. Thank you so much for listen. G-Class, shout out to Lock and K Media Studios, right? All of this gloriousness that you are experiencing me in, this is not my own doing. I am just a very good product of who is going to soon to be my chief technology and product officer. I think he just learned that today while I said it out loud in the chat. So, Kitty Bradshaw, it's November the 12th. That is my birthday. For everybody who's out there and listening, right? I've now given you a little more intel about me, but I'm a November 12th girl, Kitty Bradshaw. Okay. So let's go back to emotional capacity, because I want to make sure we do all of this before we talk about being a vitamin or a painkiller. Because if you are, yes, Kitty Bradshaw, good Scorpio energy in here today. I like it. Let's talk about this whole notion of being intentional when it comes to showing ourselves and making sure that we show up as a vitamin when we need to show up as such, or a painkiller. Sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, we are a painkiller when we need to be a vitamin. My Life Journey, can you put that in text message to me, whatever it is? Thank you. Okay. Here's the thing, folks. I want everybody, if you listen to my regular blueprint bosses, you all know you need to be writing these things down. And I know it's been a few months since we have seen this, but you all know you need to be writing this down, because I'm getting ready to connect it back. And then when I tell the story that I'm going to tell about my dad, I want to make sure that we all know for a fact the importance of choosing to be a vitamin, or recognizing that we are being a painkiller, and also recognizing when we need it for ourselves, when we need someone to show up that way for us. So get your notes out. Blueprint bosses, get your notebooks out. If you need to borrow a pen, nudge the person next to you and get a pen. Okay. All of those things, because we're getting ready to dive in. Okay, I'm going to do a quick little reset and say hello to everybody who is making their way into the stream. Virtual salute to everybody who is working or lurking, or if you're commuting. Okay. Thank you for being here. My name is Kim Blue. Welcome to the Blueprint. We are chopping it up on this very special Beats for a Cure edition of the Blueprint today. And we are talking about being a vitamin or a painkiller and what that means. Thank you, DJ Classics, you and C Love 702 for passing out all of the supplies. Listen, shout out to everybody who's on the West Coast or who is in Europe or Asia who is catching me. I am normally on at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And so my West Coast folks rarely get the chance to see me live. They catch me in the VOD. So shout out to everybody who is here from the West Side today, or if you are watching from a different place in the world, thank you so much for being here and for supporting. Right. And thank you for those who have made a donation already to the Beats for a Cure on behalf of the Blueprint. Okay. So let's make sure that we are staying connected. So let's talk about what it means to be a vitamin. Okay. And I want to make sure that we are thoughtful about this. So when we talk about being a vitamin versus a painkiller, okay, when I talk about vitamins, I'm not talking about a physical vitamin, but I do want you to think about what a vitamin does. And so we've defined what each of these things are, right? So anybody who's new to the Blueprint, know that we take notes. We make sure we walk out of here with things that can be intentionally a part of our lives. Lock and Key Media, do you see this? According to G Class, this is where I'm doing this from. Okay, so I don't know what you want to do about that, but I think you have unofficially become the official right, production partner to K Blue Consulting and all things the Blueprint. A McKee on the check-in. Good morning. Good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Shout out to my fellow Queen City sister, okay, who is also a mod. When we think about vitamins, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. I want you to imagine what a physical vitamin is. Who in here, right? I take vitamins every day. But I want you to think about if you yourself show up as a vitamin every day, right? You might take vitamins every day, but do you show up as a vitamin every day? Write that down, right? I take vitamins, but the key question is, Mala Journey, can you highlight this in the chat for me? While you might take vitamins every day, are you showing up as a vitamin every day? Okay. My like journey. Don't rate me out, my like journey. Don't rate me out or K-Lock, right? Like don't rate me out. Just stick with it. And everybody who always says from a place of love, it's time for us to rate out. Don't rate me out. Hang in there, okay? You may want to put the boots on. Because here's the thing. If you take your vitamins, and let's define what a vitamin is, and then I'll dig into a little bit of how we are holding our mirrors and ensuring that we are being vitamins, but that we're also recognizing when we're not. Okay. So when we talk about what a vitamin is, so what do vitamins do, right? They provide us with a little bit more of that stickiness. So most of the nutrients that we get in our bodies comes from the food that we eat, anything that we consume, and where we can't make up for that through medicine, or if our body has other deficiencies, we might be prescribed or encouraged to take vitamins, right? Some of us may not be able to eat certain foods, or we might have certain health issues that prevent us from doing that. But we have to make up for these things because our bodies need them to function. And so when we talk about vitamins, we talk about these things that provide us support. They enhance what is already present, or they create these connections to try to go in and fill the gaps on what is missing. Now, when we talk about being a vitamin, these 4 words that you see here, I want everybody to pay attention to this. Vitamins are additive. It means that they add to what already is in existence from a positive standpoint. Vitamins are not negative. They say we see where the opportunity is and we see where there's a gap. We're going to add ourselves to that and make this better than what it already is. Vitamins are intentional. Vitamins are also corrective. Vitamins go in and say, hey, this thing has been going on and we want to add things to it to help maybe reverse it or change it or make sure that it goes in a different direction. All right. Vitamins are also preventative. What they do is they prevent future disruption, disturbances, any type of disarray, right? But they prevent that because what vitamins do. So think about right, our cells, or think about this. If these are 2 things that need to be connected, but for whatever reason, there's some type of gap or some type of deficiency, the vitamin comes in and creates that stickiness so that the 2 things that need to be together exist together. Okay. So what I want you to think about is what the vitamin does. And now let's talk about the why the vitamin does it. So we can see ourselves truly as being vitamins, or recognizing when we're not, right? So vitamins are combined with other elements to create something that's new or more effective, right? They're trying to strengthen the system. And a system is anything that's made up of several different parts that's trying to achieve some type of outcome, right? These systems are multiple parts that have to work together. That's what a system is. And they have to overcome or support or improve conditions, right? So think about it. When you start to take vitamins, some vitamins are there to help your bones be stronger, or some vitamins are there to help your skin and nails and hair look nicer. Sometimes vitamins are there to ensure that we're getting enough of the right types of things in our diet that we don't get from our food, okay? How do vitamins do that? They seek out the spaces where there's an opportunity. I see this happening over here and this happening over there, but those 2 things need to be together so that this system can work properly. We're going to create the bridge between these 2 things. We're going to help solve for this disconnect, and we're going to make this whole system operate more strongly. Okay. So this is what a vitamin is. Now, when we talk about being a vitamin, what we know is that vitamins add 2 things. So when you are having this mental attitude check, right? Remember, the mental attitude is the conversation you're having with yourself about what is going on around you. This is the moment where you have to look yourself in the mirror and say, am I being a vitamin? Am I adding my positivity to the situation? Am I truly stepping into this and saying, what I am bringing is my best self? I'm bringing my highest potential. I am showing up authentically. My gifts are on display. I feel confident. I am showing up thoughtful, thorough, and intentionally. Nothing that is around here is throwing me off my game. In fact, I'm here because I'm supposed to be here. This seat that you see me sitting in is because I am supposed to be in this seat. I am here amidst this Beats for a Cure. It's because someone saw fit to be like, oh, whatever it is that Kim Blue has, we need more of that, because that's additive. That's intentional. It's important. In fact, Kim Blue is here because she's going to make part of this raid train better. And so the seat that I am in, it is because I'm supposed to be here. And let me be clear about Kim Blue, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a vitamin wherever I go. I don't step into places to kill pain. I only step in places to course correct and make it better, right? If I'm a part of your system, everything that you're doing is going to be better, faster, stronger, and more intentional. And that's what I mean when I say, are you a vitamin? Because you have to know for yourself that if you're stepping into a space, if you are bringing your gifts, your expertise, your knowledge, your capabilities, your skills, and your resources, you better darn sure that you're being a vitamin, because if you are not, you are only adding to the toxicity, the negativity, to anything that is not in support of that system seeing success. Okay. And so what we need to do, absolutely, Crystal Method, bring the nutrients with you. Shout out to vitamin K. If you are dealing with Kim Blue, you're going to get all the vitamin K you can stand, K and B for that matter, right? All of those things, right? I'm 2 vitamins. My initials are Kim Blue or KB, right? So you're going to get vitamin K and you're going to get vitamin B and all the Bs, B6, B12, all of them, right? You got to bring the nutrients with you, because if you don't bring the nutrients with you, what are you adding value to? Help me understand. If you are not adding to it, what then are you doing? What are you presenting into this? Why? How are you making it better? And then why are you even here? If you are not going to be this thing that says, my presence makes it better, my energy makes it better, my smile makes it better, right? My expertise makes it better. Whether you are in front of the camera, right? Whether you are in the closet back there, whatever it is that you're doing, you need to be a vitamin and make sure that you are making the environment better. Because if you are not a vitamin, ladies and gentlemen, guess what you're going to be? A painkiller. Okay. And we are going to talk about what a painkiller is, right? Painkillers are the opposite of vitamins. They do not do the same thing that vitamins do. Vitamins enhance. G class, right? Why are you here, right? Vitamins enhance. They seek to make things better, stronger, more intentional for everything around it. Everybody benefits from having a vitamin, right? The painkiller is the bad apple among the group. It's the thing that spoils it. Now, let's talk about pain, because we know that pain in and of itself is this thing where we're saying, you know what? I want to make sure that I'm feeling aware of something that's wrong, right? We feel pain when there's something that's not going right. So remember, I gave this visual, right, where there's a gap right here. So think about this system and this system, or this component and this component, but they're not connecting. The space in between these two components is where the pain exists, right? Absolutely, the Miss Sweet Tea. Go ahead and get rid of those painkillers and trade them in for vitamins any day of the week, because I promise you, the more you surround yourself with vitamins. And listen, let me just take a pause right here for a moment. In fact, I'm going to take this out because I want y'all to see me. I want to make sure that you can see my face when I say this, okay? Let me get clear about what vitamins are, ladies and gentlemen. Vitamins don't have to be that physical pill that you take, right? Vitamins can be surrounding yourself with the right people, because sometimes people are painkillers. Sometimes it is surrounding yourself with the right types of environments, making sure you say, I'm not going over there, because if I go over there, it always zaps my energy. I always have a headache. I always feel bad about myself when I'm in this environment. I never come out of there feeling like I've done anything right, like I'm operating at my highest potential. I can't be my best because now I'm competing to be present. Those spaces are designed for painkillers. Vitamins are not going to thrive there. Vitamins need to go into spaces where they see the opportunity to know that actually a painkiller is not required. We want to enhance everything. So sometimes vitamins are people. Okay. Sometimes vitamins are places, spaces. Sometimes they are opportunities, right? Where can I go and be at my best? So don't think for 1 minute that I'm talking about a physical pill. I am talking about you taking a physical pill so that you can operate at your best. If you were in the stream on Tuesday, you heard me talking about breathing life into your gifts and making sure that you have secured your own oxygen mask. Listen, folks, oxygen is a vitamin. Somebody write that down. Okay. Oxygen is a vitamin because the minute you can breathe, you then have enough oxygen to help someone secure their own oxygen mask. If you yourself want to be a vitamin to somebody else and help them secure their own oxygen mask, then you have to make sure that yours is in check. But you can't be a vitamin if you are over here suffering, if you are in pain. The space between these two components where they need to connect, that's where the pain exists. And these things over here are feeling it. Okay. Tantrum, did you just say CPR your gifts? I cannot. Nikki Walker, welcome in. Good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Yes, spasms. Oxygen is a vitamin. You have to put it on yourself before you can support anybody else. I didn't use those exact words, Tantrum. Okay. So listen, you have to be clear about who your vitamins are, and you have to be okay saying, you are not the vitamins that I need to take. I actually need to go in and swap out these vitamins. In fact, I might recognize that who I thought or what I thought was a vitamin is actually a painkiller. Painkillers, or pain in and of itself, is this indication that something is not right. There's a disconnect between what is supposed to be happening and what actually is happening. And pain is that notification of the disconnect. Okay. Big Stove, what is it that I'm putting on a t-shirt? Say that again. Lock and Key Media, it is not time to rate out yet. It is not time to rate out yet. Brax on the check-in, I see you. Good to be here. K-Lock, it is not time to check. K-Lock, are you going to let the people know that you're okay back there? Oh, my goodness. Okay. He just turned the lights out on me. So there's your indication, folks, that he is still all right, that he's still back there. I don't think he's going to come out of the closet until maybe right before we raid out and say hello and wave at the people. But he's alive, right? He did just flicker the lights, or he might change the color of the lights so you guys can know, right? Listen, classics. Highlight that in the chat. Humor is a vitamin. And I bring that to this space, and you all are clearly here for it, right? Which is one of the things that I love most about the blueprint, right? How we hold each other accountable, how we keep each other aligned to this space, right? Humor is a vitamin. Oxygen is a vitamin. Okay. And you all know I talk about currency and I talk about a lot of different things. Today, we are talking about those various vitamins. And you need to understand that people are vitamins, places are vitamins. Your career is a vitamin. Your career can either energize you or it can drain you. Okay. Your communities, the circles that you are in, your faith communities, your social communities, all of these things are vitamins to us. Actually, you're gonna have to teach me how to say it's vitamin. Men, is that what it is? You got right. So all of those things are how we think about vitamins, but also how we make sure that we are showing up for ourselves. DJ Greg Flowers, welcome in. Good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. First time in the blueprint. Happy Thursday to you. When we think about being a vitamin and when we think about being a painkiller, one of the things that we recognize is that if we are not a vitamin, we are a painkiller. And so let's talk about what a painkiller is. They immediately come in to stop the pain, but it's acute, ladies and gentlemen. Right. So the pain may actually go away temporarily, but it might come back. And that's the thing that I want to remind you of. Painkillers can be short term. They might have some long term potential, but likely they're not going to be around forever. And the pain might come back. Right. So when we think about painkillers, they may not solve the greater problem. They may not help you reach your goal. They may actually have some side effects that you're not intending, right? Painkillers. Why do we take them? Everybody has a vice. Everybody absolutely my life journey, right? Right, right. Classics and Malak Johnny are saying the same thing, right? Painkillers have some of the worst side effects, right? Y'all ever watch those commercials and it's like, uh, Brax, a corporate street pharmacist, Brax, can I be that? A corporate street pharmacist? I think that that's what it is. Okay. Anybody ever watch those commercials and it's like, ask your doctor about Lyrica. And I'm not picking on anybody who takes Lyrica or if you are using Lyrica for things like fibromyalgia or whatever. This is just me pulling out the part of the commercial that relates to the side effects, right? Okay. Brax, cosign on the corporate street pharmacist. Thank you so much. Okay. Absolutely. Okay. Like the fast talking part of the commercial. So, right. You say Lyrica can prevent pain and this and right. And so here is the list. But then it also says side effects may include heartburn, heart attack, death, and all the right. And so now it's almost like, is it worth taking the painkiller because the side effects are so severe? But guess what, people? We invite painkillers into our lives all the time. Anybody ever been in a relationship that you stayed in too long because it was comfortable? Anybody ever stayed at a job too long because it was familiar? You were welcoming the pain. You invited the pain in, and you learning how to navigate among the chaos, among the disarray, among the disconnection. When you learn how to navigate the chaos that is around you, when you get really clear about saying, I know that this is crazy, and when you can navigate your own crazy, you have officially become a painkiller. Or you figured out where the pain points are and you've learned how to navigate through them. Okay. When you are intentional about saying, my life journey, it's not time for the raid. It's only noon. We still have 60 minutes. Don't raid me out. Don't raid me out right away. Okay. Twomp, welcome in. Good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Twomp, I'm so happy I just said, shout out to everybody on the West Coast who rarely gets to catch my stream. So good morning to you, Twomp. I hope your day is going well. Welcome to the Blueprint. Okay. Thank you for being here. Right? Listen, folks, when you learn how to navigate the crazy, you have officially accepted that you either are a painkiller or you know where to go to get the things to kill the pain. How to deal with the people, how to show up in these meetings, what meetings you need to go to with your camera on and where you need to turn your camera off, when you need to be in person, how to navigate all of the different dealings, right? What vices are even there to become a painkiller for you? We all have a set of vices, right? We all have a set of things that we go through. Makes a great fake mod. Thank you so much for that. Classics. I appreciate that. Twomp, I think she just put you out there for that and offered up your services. Right. So painkillers become into this space where you might have a long-term need, but the painkiller only solves for a short-term situation. Okay. Listen, folks, when you are in a space where you're saying, I know that this thing isn't good for me, but I don't know how to get out of it. I don't know where to go to get the vitamin. I don't know how to find my way out of it. I've been doing this for so long that I don't know any other way. This is what is familiar to me. Or my most favorite one is, this is how I've always done it, or this is how we have always done it. Now you're in an ecosystem of painkillers. Everybody in there is a painkiller, and you're just killing the pain by doing the things. Nobody wants to do the work of the undoing or the unlearning, because the minute you decide for yourself that you're going to undo something, unlearn something, unravel something, you're going to say no, you're going to stop engaging, you're going to put up boundaries, you're going to find yourself in a new space. The minute you start to manage the pain, you have to do the work. And sometimes there's more pain in the pain management process than there is in just dealing with the acute pain that exists. Okay. 12. Right. So what do painkillers do? It's instant gratification. Right? Anybody in here ever have a headache? You take a Tylenol, 15 minutes, you're feeling better. Okay. But it's only temporary. And they may not improve the conditions, because guess what? Your headache may go away, but you might still have a fever. You may have a fever and you may still have a sore throat, but maybe perhaps there's another pain that goes away somewhere else. Okay. So you may still be dealing with a variety of symptoms because the painkiller is acute and is only designed to attack one or two things. Okay. Absolutely. The Miss Sweet Tea says you have to do the work and it's not comfortable. That is what we talk about when we talk about pain management. I think Kayla put it in the chat, or somebody else put it in the chat. Kayla, I love you. Okay. I'm saying this from a place of love. Okay. Everybody who is in here feeling like I'm stepping on your toes, because now you're starting to see for a fact when you're showing up as a vitamin, or potentially when you may be suffering through some pain, operating as a painkiller, or reaching out for your respective painkillers from a pain management standpoint, right? And let me tell you something. Sometimes pain management is people. You ever deal with one person and they get on your nerves, so you go find somebody else who equally gets on your nerves, but they get on your nerves a little less, and you can decide that you're here for it today, or you have enough energy today to be able to do it, right? All of those things, right? That's pain management. Food is pain management, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Anybody in here talking about emotional eating? We've reached our emotional capacity. So what do? We go find something that makes us feel good. That's the vices that you see in the why. Food. There you go, Brax. Okay. All of these things, right? Food is pain management, right? So is alcohol. And I'm not putting negative thing, right? I am a foodie. I drink socially. What I'm saying to you is that when they become something to kill the pain or manage the pain, it's now become something that is not supporting you as a system. And that then is going to have influence on your mental attitude, your mindset, and your ability to commit, to focus, or decide, I am going to do whatever it is that I'm doing. Okay. All of those things become painkillers. Okay. People will find painkillers anywhere, wherever it is, they will go and find painkillers. Sometimes there can be good things that become painkiller, right? Going to the gym can be a painkiller. If you don't have a good relationship or a good balance with whatever it is that you decide is going to kill the pain, it can become a painkiller, and it can absolutely start to work against you instead of for you. And so there are things that you may have in your life that are vitamins that may end up showing up as painkillers. And what I want you to do is recognize when you are a painkiller and when you need vitamins. And I'm encouraging you to be more of a vitamin on any given day than a painkiller. So let's go back to what these vitamins are real quick. And then we're going to do another little bit of a shout out to everybody who is coming in, because we're back at the top. We're just past the top of the hour. And I want to make sure that we can make sure that we are acknowledging. Thank you, Kayla, for letting me on the time check. Appreciate you. Right. Okay. So is it Gilderoth? Thank you so much for being here. Welcome to the Blueprint. Gilderoth says Coca-Cola was a painkiller for them with ADHD. Oh my goodness. So listen, folks, let's talk about these things, because for those of us who have existing conditions, whether it is depression, whether it is ADHD, whether it is anything, pick whatever it is that you have, but there is always something that you look forward to, something that makes you happy. Listen, folks, sweets, it's another one. Sweets are a massive painkiller. Separate from just food themselves. There are people who may just say, I don't worry about the rest of the food, but the sweets are the things, right? This time of year, Halloween candy, definitely a painkiller. Okay. All of those. And then there's regular painkillers that we absolutely lean into. So the medicine we take for pain, whether we need it or not. I'm just going to leave that one right there. Okay. Purplelicious, welcome in. Good to see you. Absolutely, Brax. So there's a variety of things that kill pain for people. The question is, how do we recognize that it's a painkiller? And how do we put it down and say, what's the vitamin that's going to provide me with a better experience, right? Sometimes it's required. Absolutely. So sometimes it is required, and being able to balance whatever that is, because sometimes the things that help us get away from the stuff that causes pain may not necessarily be the thing that we want to do. And it might actually create more stress to step away from the painkiller than it is to add in the vitamin. right? It's almost like a little bit of withdrawal. It's almost like stepping away from something that we've become comfortable to, because painkillers become comfortable for us. That's what I mean when I say, think about all the opportunities that you've had, right? I've stayed in this relationship too long. I've stayed at this job too long. I have been a part of this community for too long. It's not serving me. I'm not in my best whenever I'm around these people. And yet you stay. Prodigy, welcome in. Good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. And you stay in those places because it's a painkiller. It does serve some level of purpose for you, but ultimately it wears you down over time. And so you need to make sure that you are engaging in what it means to be a vitamin, right? You want to get to those places where you're enhancing things, where the people around you, your community, your system that you're a part of is only enhancing you to be at your best. Because when you are at your best, you can be great in your gifts. You can breathe life into the things that are going to help enhance the system. Listen, folks, your gifts, the things that you are really good at, okay? Think about the things that you're good at. What makes you happy? Right? The things that you are excited to show people. When someone says, "Can you do this for me?" And you go, "Yes, I'm excited about it. Yes, I would be honored to do this. Yes, I'm happy to help," right? Those are your gifts. Those are the things that allow people to feel good because you have shared them with someone else. Case in point, right? I'm going to put My Light Journey on the spot. So My Light Journey, if you've not ever seen her stream, so she's not only my mod, she's also a streamer. What you may not know about My Light Journey is that she's also a licensed cosmetologist and she is a full-time loctician. So these glorious locks that you see, right, are all maintained by her. So shout out to the Envious Hair Lounge and Hair Envy. But this is her gift, ladies and gentlemen. She has been doing this her whole life, okay? Ever since we graduated from high school, she has been doing this. So she is great in her gift. So when I sit in her chair, I have high trust that not only is my hair going to be taken care of, but she is also going to talk to me about the overall condition of my hair. What am I doing? She's asking me about my diet. She's saying, "I'm noticing this." She is a vitamin in my life. Because I know when I get out of the chair, every single place I go outside of that is going to benefit from her gift. Vitamins are gifts, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Absolutely. Kitty Bradshaw. She is walking in her purpose. Okay. All of those things, right? Gilderoth says his wife is his biggest vitamin. I'm going to assume that Gilderoth, you are a male. Okay. But all of that, people can be vitamins. And I am telling you right now, ladies and gentlemen, that when you can be great in your gifts, those things are vitamins. Those things are what help others. They enhance all these things. When I sit in her chair, I know for a fact that I'm walking out of there better than I did when I came into her salon. Whether I'm in Charlotte or whether she comes here to Atlanta, it doesn't matter. But everything about the way I think about myself is going to be better because she is one of the biggest vitamins in my life. And she has been for the last 7 years, right? So you have to recognize where that additive is coming from. Absolutely. It's critical to operating your purposely, Miss Sweet Tea. And I promise you that she continues to be a vitamin in she's probably already crying G class. Right? Exactly, Big Stove. You're gonna get these flowers today, My Light Journey. But that's the whole point, right? She is one of the biggest vitamins in my life. She provides that support. She looks at what already is present for me, and she combines the things that she needs to ensure that, hey, this is a space where I can make sure that your hair looks great. What are the things that you have coming up, right? Are you going to be presenting? Are you going to be on stage? Are you going to be virtual? What do we need to do? How can I help make sure that in the absence of her being right here, you know how to style your hair? You know how to make sure that you can get to this YouTube person. Let me give you this product. Let me make sure you know where to go. Okay. She's a vitamin in my life. All of those are the things that I want to encourage you to be, because you never know when you're going to need a vitamin, because the painkillers in somebody else's lives are not doing them justice at all. Okay. Right. Go to Roth. If only everyone thought about how they could help others, the world would be a different place. Okay. So I'm going to tell you guys my story about how I was a vitamin for my dad, which ties into our whole Beats for a Cure. And then we're really going to take a hard look at what it means to step into being a vitamin, because vitamins and painkillers align with something called growth mindset and fixed mindset. So if you're taking notes, write down vitamin equals growth mindset. Painkiller equals fixed mindset. You cannot be in a fixed mindset and be a vitamin, ladies and gentlemen. It is impossible. You cannot be in a fixed mindset and be a vitamin. You might take a vitamin to get out of a fixed mindset, but you cannot be in a fixed mindset, meaning I'm not open to anything, I'm not willing to come to any changes, and be a vitamin. It just doesn't happen. All right. So while I'm telling you the story about my dad, I want you to think about the vitamins in your lives. And I want you to think about, do you have an opportunity to be a vitamin? Not just take your vitamins, but do I have an opportunity to be a vitamin at all? More often, the answer is yes. Likely, we might be hiding behind being a painkiller. Oh, I can only go in and do this much. No. You could possibly do more. But if you've not taken your vitamins, you can't be a vitamin for somebody else. If you don't surround yourselves with vitamins, you cannot be a vitamin for anything else or anyone else. Some people are vitamins all day, and we are drained at the end of the day. Some people are painkillers for people all day. They are just as drained, because it takes just as much work to be a vitamin as it does to be a painkiller, ladies and gentlemen. So why would you choose to kill pain instead of enhancing what is positive? 713, good morning. Nice to see you. And you're right, it is not 5 a.m. And here I am coming on at 11. Was intentional. I was able to get this slot so I can see all of the West Coast Twitch fam who support the Blueprint, who I know willingly, right? Y'all, 713 gets up. She is in the stream closer to the 6 a.m. hour, but sometimes right after I start at 8. So all of those things, right? Z Lady C, welcome in. Good morning. Thank you so much for being here. So let's talk about my dad and the story. So this is him. Okay. So my dad passed away in 2017. He is a 2-time cancer survivor. He had prostate cancer probably when he was in his late 20s, early 30s. And so he had it, he survived it, and then it was in remission for years and years and years. And then through several other health conditions, so my dad was a diabetic, and he loved to travel, and he loved to do all types of things. And he didn't always take the greatest care of himself, because he just was like, meh, I'll get to it. I kind of got time. This is sort of what it is. And I didn't see him a lot growing up because my parents were divorced. And so I got time with him. But, kids get older and life happens. And then I moved away and he had a life, and we always were connected, but he wasn't super present all of the time. But he was a software engineer. Shout out to everybody in the IT space out there. He loved dabbling with computers. I had a computer when I was 6. Shout out to anybody who ever played Facemaker or Frogger. Those were the first games that I played. He was an avid member of the Divine Nine. So shout out to the Divine Nine fam that's out there. And you see the 06 in the parentheses. So that should tell you what fraternity he was a part of. He loved music. Loved it. He would have loved Twitch. Everybody, he would have, listen, y'all, if he were still alive, he would probably be right here in the studio with me easily. Okay. Because he loved Twitch. He loved jazz. He loved funk. He loved blues. He loved all types of music, really, but that was like his thing. He actually that's where my love for music and records and vinyl came in, actually, because he was the first person to expose me. He used to play Earth, Wind, and Fire on vinyl. I mean, just everybody. He had all of those folks coming in. And so that's where my love for music started. He played the saxophone. I played the saxophone. I was a band kid, right? So I played the saxophone. That's where my love for the sax came in, and for jazz, because he introduced me to all of those folks who were great jazz musicians before he got really sick and we had to stop. So Big Stove, I can relate to you for sure on the moment that you had with your dad this morning. Brax, I did go to band camp for 4 years. I did go to band camp. This is the perfect time to pause because we have a raid coming in. DJ D-Man with the raid. Thank you so much, D-Man. Listen, the curator of the Beats for a Cure raid train is in the building. He has brought the Cashew crew over this morning. DJ D-Man, thank you so much for the raid. Good to see you. Welcome to Beats for a Cure Blueprint Edition. You are coming in, D-Man, just in time for me to tell the story about my dad and his cancer journey and how I ended up being a vitamin in his life. Stove, there you go, right? So now it makes more sense where my love for jazz comes in. And I know I've said it to you at a couple times in your stream that my dad would love it here on Sunday nights if he could be here, right? So shout out to everybody who came in on the raid with DJ D-Man. Go ahead and come on in and get comfortable. Blueprint bosses and everybody who's been in here, please make yourselves comfortable. Scoot over and let's make some room for those who are coming in. I see you, D-Man, with the Uber coming in with the party of 3. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome in, everybody. Let me do a quick introduction before I jump back into my story about my dad, and then we will finish our conversation on being a vitamin or being a painkiller, okay? So my name is Kim Blue. I am a HR strategist and a career coach. Hold on one second. Let me make sure that you all can see me and that I'm not tiny in the corner for those who are coming in particular, if you are here for the first time. So how you doing, everybody? My name is Kim Blue. I am an HR strategist and a career coach. Welcome to the Blueprint Beats for a Cure edition. This is a space where we come on Tuesdays and Thursdays, usually at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, but today I am on at 11, supporting DJ D-Man, who is the curator of the Beats for a Cure raid train, bringing you all of this goodness. We chop it up in here about all things personal and professional development. We do a lot of work. My tagline is, I believe everybody should be the boss of their own blueprint. And that means you should have access to the knowledge, skills, capabilities, and resources so that you can operate at your highest potential. You can add value to whatever work you own or are responsible for. But most importantly, you can show up as your authentic self, because when you do that, you can be great in your gifts. You don't have to dim your light or shrink back. Everybody gets the benefit of experiencing you at your best. And when you are at your best, you're absolutely being the boss of your own blueprint. So welcome in, Raiders. D-Man, thank you again for the raid. Appreciate you bringing the family over, coming in again with the Uber service on the back end. Shout out to everybody from the Cashew crew to Ray Domingo for bringing the family in earlier, and for DJ Classics on the raid as well. Thank you so much for all of the love. And thank you to everybody who has been giving out or who has been donating. If you are interested in making a donation, here is where you can do that. The Blueprint is going to make a contribution to Beats for a Cure. So any hype trains or anything that happens between now and the end of the stream will all go towards supporting Beats for a Cure. So there is my my unique link. So thank you in advance. Appreciate you all for being here. I am talking today about the difference between being a vitamin or a painkiller, not necessarily the physical pills themselves, but you as a person, what it means to show up for someone, for yourself as a vitamin, and what it looks like if you're showing up for a painkiller, right? Because what we know is we take vitamins to do good things for our bodies, and we take painkillers to help stop some of the bad things. But I want to question you and say, how do you know that you're being a vitamin to someone's life, to yourself, to your family, to your social circles and communities that you're in? Okay, so make sure that you stick around. We're going to ride up to the top of the hour. I was just getting ready to tell you guys a story about my dad and how I was a vitamin in his life. He was a cancer survivor. Ultimately, that did end up taking his life, but it really caused me to choose to be a vitamin for him. And it caused me to hold my own mirror and say, you know what? I need to recognize when I need more vitamins around me. And so I want to make sure that I am doing that. Jennifer coming in with the raid. Thank you so much, Jennifer, for bringing the family over. Please give Jennifer a follow, ladies and gentlemen. She is an amazing streamer. She has a very calming stream. She does everything from artwork and really good conversation in there. It's very low key. You can go in and you can work and lurk. She's got the opportunity for you to be engaged in the conversation, right? She does a lot of chatting. All topics are pretty much on the table there. So Jennifer, thank you so much for being here and for bringing the folks over to Beats for a Cure. I hope you are doing well. Welcome in, Raiders, Blueprint Boss fam. Go ahead and make some room for everybody who came in from D-Man and everybody who came in from Jennifer. Lock and Key, appreciate you on the gift sub, and we have kicked off a hype train. Thank you so much, folks, for everybody who has given subs and who has contributed to the Blueprints Beats for a Cure donation. Good to see you, Jennifer. I hope you are having a fantastic day. Okay. Dr. Dady Priest, good morning. Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Shout out to everybody who came in from Jennifer's stream. If you are a first timer, this is the Blueprint. My name is Kim Blue. I am an HR strategist and a coach. I know, Jennifer, I'm so excited. Normally I'm not on this time of day. So this has been a great treat for me, and it has been really energizing to see so many folks that I don't normally get to see. Bearded Baritone on the check-in. Good morning. Thank you so much for being here. Double Spirit, appreciate you with the gifted sub, pushing us over into level 2. Thank you all for the subs and for the bits. I know I'm catching up a little bit as I see folks coming into the chat. So thank you so much for being here. DJ Feelgood, welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. First time in the chat. Anybody who is here for the first time, shout out to you for all the new followers. For anybody who has been lurking, virtual salute. Thank you for keeping the tab open. Whether you're active in the chat, whether you're supporting another streamer, or whether you are just doing your thing, you're here. Whether or not I can physically recognize you, all good. Thank you so much for supporting this. Okay. K-Lock with the 5-piece. Thank you so much for the gift subs. K-Lock's the one and only JG. Thank you so much for the bits. Appreciate you. Listen, folks, make sure you're saying thank you to everybody who is gifting subs. If you received one from them, please make sure that you are showing some love, right? All of this is going to support our guy, DJ D-Man. All right. Everything from this hype train will go there. And we are now at a level 3. Thank you so much, everybody. DJ Easy Frank, good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. East Smiley with the bits. Thank you so much for all of that. Listen, folks, lots of good things happening. Greetings to everybody who has come in. I see the chat is moving fairly quickly, so I want to make sure that I'm saying hello and acknowledging everyone who has come in. Ebony ATL, thank you so much for the gifted sub to Site Giver. Appreciate you guys so much. So we're going to keep this hype train going. We are at a level 3. I'm going to talk to you all about my dad because I want to make sure that we tie into our conversation today about being a vitamin or a painkiller and how that impacts our fixed mindset and our growth mindset. So go ahead, Jennifer, get comfy and listen. So I'm going to add in my slide back. So this is my dad, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much to the anonymous gifter, to Dr. Donna Dundas. All right. So this is my dad, ladies and gentlemen, and I was going through a little bit of his rap sheet, as I like to call it. He is a 2-time prostate cancer survivor. Okay, good morning. Thank you so much for being here. Folks are just making their way right into the chat. Appreciate this. Appreciate you coming in. Is it Miss Me B 63? Me Be Me? Yes, Ms. Me Be Me 63. Thank you so much for coming in and for showing love. Talk about it. Thank you so much for being here. Good to see you. Welcome in, everybody, right? All types of folks coming into the stream today. I'm so excited. Man, this is giving me thoughts about coming on at 11 o'clock. I got to wrap this to my chief technology officer who's hiding back there. Can we talk about this after my stream? Y'all, he's probably going to be like, I didn't show up for this. Right? This is not what I signed up for. I think he just committed to being like, I'm going to do these things. And that's that. And I think he's now committed to the blueprint, perhaps in ways that he might not have thought was going to be the case. So Natasha, yes, it's only 9:30. Right. So this time works because I can see all of the folks on the West Coast who normally, listen, K-Lock, I think I might have just deboed your studio with the support of everybody in the chat who is showing love for this. We are still at a level 4 hype train. Thank you guys so much for all the subs and the bits and everything that you're contributing. And for those who are contributing directly through to the link, thank you for helping us reach our goal to being able to support. Exactly, Stove. Good talk. Okay, good talk. Right. But I know that this time works because I can catch folks in multiple time zones, and I don't miss folks who are on the West Coast, and I still catch our folks who are over in Europe, right, and overseas. Miss KB, thank you so much for the bits. Appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Did I catch everybody? I know, Brax, so much love from the West Coast, right? I gotta think about. Listen, I'm gonna talk to him. I think he's Kaylock. Are you still alive back there? There you go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, he's still alive. So I think that, right, we might be talking about maybe what the Thursday stream looks like, but it feels like this is a really good time to be able to catch a lot of people, and it's exciting to be able to do that. So, all right. So my dad, two-time cancer survivor. He's a software engineer. He was a member of the Divine Nine, right? So he was an alpha for those who do not know the Divine Nine is. Parenthetically, you see that '06 there. He's a music lover, so massive lover of jazz and blues. He played he's blinking. I know, I see him. He loved jazz and blues and funk, anything old school. That's where my love for records came in, and vinyl. He loved to travel. He was a big foodie. He liked to combine his foodie and his travel and his music together. He was a big sports fan. That's where my love for sports came in when I was a little girl. So I'm from Charlotte, for those who don't know, and the Carolina Panthers became our team. Right. He used to take me to go to Panthers games. We went to a ton of Hornets games, so like all of that. And he was really, yes. Okay. Like Tennessee T, I got you. Right. But he was really, really big into business and finance. He was the one that encouraged me to go to grad school, to take a business class, to expand my love for all things, but not just be a one-dimensional human being. The Miss Sweet Tea. I'm from the Queen City, right? I actually grew up right outside of Charlotte in Concord. So I went to Concord High School. But the Miss Sweet Tea, my life journey is in Charlotte. I'm in Charlotte, right? There's a couple of us floating around in here. So that is home. When I go, that is where I go, and I do my thing there. So we like lots and lots of big love to the QC for sure. So my dad really was the person that pushed me and encouraged me. And let me tell you something, folks. My dad and I did not have Brax, they're called the cardiac cats for a reason, because they are always causing us some type of heartburn or heartache. It is a lot, right? It is a lot. And I have to be patient with them, or I have to just learn to walk away, right? K-Lock, don't do that. Don't be like that. Right. All of those things, right. They make me feel away. Right. Hence why they're called the cardiac cats. So it was my dad who really encouraged me to step more into being a vitamin, but I didn't know that at the time. Right, Brax, the Panthers, not a vitamin. Thank you so much for the hype train, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate everybody who gifted subs, who provided support. We got all the way to a level 4. Thank you. 713, listen, it is a trauma bonding experience. Come on and say that again for the people in the back, okay? I'm sure the people in the front were paying attention, okay? Thank you for the hype train, ladies and gentlemen, for sure. All of this, again, is going to go to Beats for a Cure, all right? So when we think about Ms. Maybe Me. Listen, the Queen City has lots of good things. Hopefully you get there to visit. Okay. Hopefully you get there to visit. There's all types of lovely things that happen there. If you're a foodie, Charlotte is coming up on the food scene. Certainly from a sports town, if you're into finance and business, it's a great place to go and do some networking. Lots of things that are there and be able to do. My Life Journey, thank you so much for the 5-piece coming in hot with the gifted subs. Thank you for supporting the channel. If you received a gifted sub from My Life Journey, please show her some love. Say thank you via whisper. Put an emote in the chat, something to ensure that she sees your gratitude. So thank you so much, My Life Journey, for the gifted subs. Come on, Kitty. Come on and visit. It's good times there. It's good times. So my dad and I, as I got older, did not have the greatest relationship. He very much was a man who chose to live his life the way that he wanted to. And it wasn't because he didn't love me. It wasn't because he didn't care. It wasn't for any of those reasons. He just did the very best he could with the resources and the tools that he had, both to be a parent and to be a human. And I made my peace with that many, many years ago, probably right before he passed away, right? Because those things are things that I can't control. The experiences that he had as a child, my dad was a middle child. He was the fourth child of seven. So he had three older siblings, three younger siblings. Shout out to all the middle children out there. He, in his own way, was, he figured out how to find the painkillers about being a middle child. And then when he left home, he went about supporting his life in a particular way that was the best for him. And that meant he chose things at times other than me. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? He just made the best choices for him in order to advance his life. But I grew up and he was not there. So, right, the analogy that I use, there you go, Dr. Data, you get it, right? And so the analogy that I used is in life, right? Let's think about baseball. Okay. So when the batter steps up, it's called their opportunity to be at bat, right? So they're at the mound and they're getting ready to swing. And so I used to say to my dad, you don't get that many at bats left. Eventually you go from being a first base coach or a shortstop coach to being an outfield coach, right? And everybody knows that the outfield is very far away from home base. I was home base, but because of our experiences in life, he, Ebony ATL, right? But because of that, he ended up finding himself moving from sort of that first base coach where he could see me to being more of an outfield coach. And by the time I got to college and moved away from my first job, and every time I would come back home, he would see me grown up a little bit more. And it was very hard for me to decide what type of relationship that I wanted to have with him, because he started to show up in my life as a pain point. And I started to seek painkillers from my father. Now, I can say that to you now confidently, but a few years ago, that would have been a very hard thing for me to admit, right? That I had to find painkillers for my dad in order to be in the same room with him, in order to openly talk with him. And I wanted a different relationship with him. And I ultimately did get it in the end before he passed away. But there was a few years in there, probably about 10, where he and I were not as close. And my painkillers were my family. They were my work. They were the other relationships that I was building. They were the ways that I was investing myself into life, but I was not investing into my dad. And I had stopped allowing my dad to be a vitamin. He tried. When I would see him, he would talk to me about the things that I was doing. He always wanted to know what was happening at ESPN. He always wanted to ask me about, the cool things that I was doing. I used to travel a lot when I worked for ESPN, and he always wanted to know about all of those things. And I was not allowing him to be a vitamin to me. He used to encourage me to take a business class. I was like, I'm not interested in business. I don't want to do that. I want to go off and travel. I want to do other things. He used to always tell me to get familiar with finance. I was like, I'm not interested in that. I don't want to do any of those things. And he desperately tried. He literally took the vitamins. Here they are, right? Here are the vitamins right there. He would try to give them to me and I would willingly reject them because I had built up my stash of painkillers to deal with my dad, to deal with his absence, to deal with the fact that I watched him choose other things over me, to deal with the fact, thank you, K-Lock, right? To deal with the fact that I had other places that I could put my time and energy, because there were vitamins that were pouring into my life and he was not one of them, but I wanted him to be one of them. All of those are things that I didn't recognize were important. And so fast forward, as I got older, he started to find out more about his health declining, and the fact that his cancer came back. So my dad had prostate cancer when he was younger, and then he went into remission for a long time. And then it came back probably somewhere around his mid-50s. So I'd probably say he got it when he was around 30. And then he managed to survive it. And then probably in his early to mid-50s, I'd probably say maybe 55 is when he found out that he was diagnosed again. And by this time I had moved back home being Charlotte. I used to live in Connecticut. So I moved back to Charlotte, and I knew leaving Connecticut that I was coming home to see my dad through the end of his life, because his illness was getting worse and he was not making any progress, and the medicine was not having a lot of effect on his conditions. And so add to that, because my dad was a diabetic, he was experiencing some kidney failure. And so it was just this whole compounded situation. And I remember going to visit my dad once, and I used to go visit him pretty regularly, but I remember this one time going to visit him and my family calling me and saying, this actually, Kim does not look good. He's not responding to any of the medication at all. None of the treatments, nothing that the doctors are doing are working. And I had to make a decision about what I wanted my legacy to be in that moment, in particular for him, right? Because anybody who know, like people who see me and they see my mom tell me I look exactly like my mom. And then they see this picture and they're like, never mind. You look exactly like your dad. And I will own it. I was a total daddy's girl when I was a little girl. Oh, you couldn't unhinge me for him. He was my ride or die. More riding, less dying. Let me be clear about that. Okay. Always more riding and less dying. And so I was a full stop daddy's girl. And he, in his distance from me, lost a lot of those opportunities. And so I numbed with other painkillers. I numbed with other people, right? To the point where I almost didn't let him walk me down the aisle when I got married years ago, right? I was always going to ask somebody else, and I didn't want to take that opportunity away from him. And so when I got the call that one of these treatments was not working and that my dad might not survive the night, I made the commitment then to be a vitamin in his life because I knew I didn't want to pass away, not having done everything that I possibly could, because he did the best he could with what he had. And knowing that I had more than what he had allowed me to make peace with the fact that I can be a vitamin for myself first. And because I chose to be a vitamin for myself and let go of all these painkillers that I had, anger is a painkiller. Okay. Frustration is a painkiller. All these other places and people and things that I was putting my time and energy into that did not allow me to embrace my dad. I let them all go and decided I don't need those painkillers anymore. I want to be able to feel to heal. That is a Kim Jim. Anybody who knows me always hears me say, you have to feel to heal. I see you, my light journey. Thank you so much. Right. You have to feel to heal. And what do I mean by that? I mean, you have to feel your feelings. Right? You have to feel yourself. I got you, K-Lock, right? You have to feel all of the things that you need to feel in order to heal. But if you're on a painkiller, ladies and gentlemen, guess what? You cannot feel. And I needed to feel to heal because I was numbing the pain. I couldn't feel it. And I needed to feel that pain in order to heal from it. And the reason that I needed to heal from it was because I was in a fixed mindset about my father. I had decided that he had made all the decisions and he had made his choices, and none of that included me. And so because of that, I had elected to not heal any of those wounds. I had elected to not do any of the things that would put me in a growth mindset. So my mental capacity with my dad was tapped. My mental attitude about how I would be when I would see him, I was always in my brain about, okay, Kim, you got to say this and you got to do this and he's going to be here and he's going to do that. All of those things. So my mental attitude was very poor, right? As I say to my life journey, it is very peasant. It's very bottom of my shoe, right? You just would not have wanted to be around me as it related to my dad. And because of that, my mindset was way off as it related to him and the relationship that I wanted to have with him. And so because I had put all these painkillers around me to survive, I ultimately was a painkiller overall for him. Okay. And that ended up making our relationship more strained. And because of that, I could not accept any of the vitamins that he was trying to offer me or the vitamin that he was trying to be for me. Okay. We just got another raid, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. The Rebel Inc. and the Rebellious Ones. Come on in, Rebel. Thank you so much for the raid, beautiful queen. I appreciate you. Come on in, folks. Blueprint bosses, everybody who has come in, from Jennifer, from D-Man, from DJ Classics, and from Ray Domingo. Please make room for the rebellious ones who are coming in. I know it was a good time in Rebel Stream. If you have never been there, please go give the Rebel Inc. a follow. Always a good time in her stream. Listen, y'all, if you were not in there earlier this week, Rebel was really laying down some good talk. I'm not even going to spoil it for you. Just go and give her a follow and find out for yourself. Rebel, appreciate you. Let me do some quick introductions to anybody who may be coming in. If it is your first time in the chat, welcome in. My name is Kim Blue. I am an HR strategist and a career coach. Welcome to the Blueprint. This is a space where we come and we chop it up about all things personal and professional development. This is a special Blueprint edition because we are acknowledging all things Beats for a Cure. Shout out to DJ D-Man for the invite and for allowing me to come bring the Blueprint to this space. Happy to have all of you. Appreciate all the raids, all the hype trains, anything that is gifted today through a hype train is all going to be going directly to Beats for a Cure. So to everybody who is a new follower, to a first-time chatter, welcome in if you have never been here. The Rebel Inc. appreciate you, sis. Thank you so much for bringing the family over. There are so many folks who are in. I am not even going to try to catch you all individually. Just know that I appreciate you. So much love, so much Blueprint Boss energy to you. Thank you for being here, supporting me, supporting the Blueprint. Listen, folks, this is a new time of day. Like, if you all like the 11 o'clock, can you just put a little blue heart in the chat? I am seriously giving some thought to like what this could look like. I definitely have to discuss it with K-Lock. Listen, folks, shout out to Lock and Key Media Studios. Do y'all see this gloriousness that is happening behind me? The blue lights, the microphone, all of this camera clarity. That is not me at all. That is him. He is back, right? Y'all see this room, this door right here? He is back here in this door. Kayla, can you say hello to the people and let them know that you are back here? He has done all of this. So to everybody who has commented on the lighting or on my sound quality, all I did was come in and sit down because guess what? He has become a vitamin to the Blueprint today. So all of this is here. Birthday twin, Ronzi, I see you. Welcome in. Okay. Shout out to everybody who came in with the rebellious ones and the family reason. Good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Okay. And to everybody who put a blue heart in the chat saying that this time works, I am going to give some serious consideration to seeing about how I can make myself available at a different time so that I can have more access to you, right? I would love to bring the Blueprint in a different time of day. I certainly want to keep my morning stream, my 8 a.m. stream, because I know that works for people, but I definitely want to I definitely want to make sure that I am thinking about how I can make sure I put myself out there. So to everybody who's putting the blue hearts in the chat, Leroy Brown, good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. All right. Okay, folks, I'm going to finish my story. Listen, big love, big boss energy. Shout out to everybody who was working, lurking, or commuting, or has me tabbed up. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for all of the raids. Thank you for all of the gifted subs. Vengeful Turkey, welcome in. Good to see you. Thank you for everybody who has been rocking with me for the last 2 hours. I rarely get 2 hours in the Blueprint, so this has been very much a treat and a delight for the day. If you are wanting to make a donation, here's where you can do it. Let's see. There we go. So this is where you can make the donation right here hold on. Did it go away? It did. Let's put it back. So here is my unique Beats for a Cure link. You can make all of your donations right here. The Blueprint community is looking to gift $1,000 and contribute that to, listen, if we make it, that is wonderful. Everything, though, that we are able to raise through donations here is going to support breast cancer research. And we all know how important that is, how much it impacts our lives. And so thank you to everybody who is making a contribution, whether you are doing it directly through this link or whether you are giving it through Bix. Dr. Donna Dundas, thank you so much for the Boss Bitsy Warbs. Welcome in. Good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. I hope your afternoon is going well. Happy Thursday to you. All right. So here's where you can donate. I want to finish telling you guys about my dad, and I want to make sure that we are tying in everything around growth mindset, fixed mindset, and being a vitamin or a painkiller. So let's jump back into the slides for the day. Is it Get Baba D? Thank you so much for the bits. Welcome in. Good to see you. Appreciate you contributing to the Blueprint Boss community. Kitty Bradshaw, right? Everybody is here today, and I love it. I love it. You guys have no idea how happy it makes me to see all of you in this time of day and for an amazing cause. And so we can cut up and do what we do here in the Blueprint anyway, right? And it's nice to see people that I don't normally get to see when I'm streaming, right? I see you in other streams that I'm in, but it's really great to get to see you in the Blueprint, right? So we're going to wrap this up. And then we are going to get ourselves together because we are on our way to go see I Know DJ LV after this. And you all know he is a avid supporter of the Blueprint. And I am excited that we get to take the whole family over there. Shimmy, shimmy, y'all. Good morning or good afternoon, should I say. Thank you so much for being here. All right. So my dad, ladies and gentlemen, as I was saying, I had already decided this girl, Xena, thank you so much for the boss bits. Appreciate you, Queen. So what I was saying to you is that I had already decided that I was going to not allow my dad to be a vitamin in my life because I had put up a number of painkillers to manage the pain of him not always being as present. And what I now know is that that wasn't the right thing to do, because when he got close to the end of his life and when I knew at this point that there may be a treatment option that didn't work, I decided that I needed to become my own vitamin so that I could be a vitamin to him. And I wanted to make sure that I could be a vitamin to him because I wanted to ensure that for the end of his life, whatever that looks like, that I could support him. I did not want him in his own journey and his own mindset to feel like the one thing that he had, which was his daughter. I'm an only child for those who don't know, right? I did not want him to leave this earth thinking that one of the relationships that he held near and dear to him that he wasn't able to repair. I'm sure he thought that over the course of his life in the moments where I wasn't there. And so I made the decision for me that I was then going to become my own vitamin. And I stopped numbing the pain. And where I left off, DJ Neat 10, welcome in. Good to see you, right? And where I left off right before the raid came in was this place, is that you have to feel to heal. That is one of the, listen, folks, you're going to get these Kim gems before I get out of here. Okay. One of them is you have to feel to heal. And what that means is that you have to stop the pain management so that you can feel the pain in order to heal from it. Because if you don't stop managing the pain, you cannot feel the pain. And when you can't feel the pain, you don't know what the work looks like that you need to do to take care of yourself. So you have to feel to heal. So that's the first Kim gem. The second Kim gem is this, and this is my favorite one. And anybody who has been in my stream has heard me say this regularly. What is it, ladies and gentlemen? Avoidance is not a strategy. Okay. I was avoiding, let me say that again, avoidance is not a strategy. And listen, we employ avoidance as a strategy, but I am here to tell you that it is not the strategy that we should employ. Okay. When I tell you that I was intentionally avoiding doing the work of dealing with my dad, I was avoiding engaging with him. I was avoiding talking to him, being able to, have or forge or repair I was avoiding all of that. I was doing what it was that I needed to do in real time. And ultimately beyond that, I was like, I don't have to do anything else. He's not done anything else. So why do I have to do anything? Stace, welcome in. Good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Okay. But avoidance is not a strategy. And I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, because here's the thing, I was avoiding the things that I was feeling. And so because I was avoiding my feels, I could not heal. Let me say that again. If you avoid your feels, you cannot heal. You have to feel to heal, ladies and gentlemen. Avoidance is not a strategy. Okay. The other thing is this, I could not humble myself enough to go, Kim, what is your part in all of this? Did you make it clear to your dad that you were missing him? And I had, but had I really done that? Or was I holding on to sort of this little girl trauma that I had that I wasn't ready to surrender? Okay. Now, one of the other Kim gems that I'm going to put out there today is this. Please don't let your humility be a liability. Okay. When I tell you that I was operating in liability, instead of allowing my humility to come full circle so that I could check myself and correct my mental attitude so that my mindset could shift. Because let me tell you something, as long as I was operating in liability, as long as I was managing the pain and I couldn't feel, I was in a fixed mindset. Okay. And a fixed mindset, ladies and gentlemen, is where you have decided that you are going to accept every single thing as it is. What was the opening quote at the top of the blueprint? What you are not changing, you are choosing. I was choosing a fixed mindset. I was choosing the painkillers. I was choosing the avoidance. And because I chose all of those things, my mindset was stuck. It was fixed. I wasn't going anywhere. Nothing was going to change between me and my dad. And not only that, I was setting an example potentially for how I was going to move for the rest of my life, because this is my parent. And so your parents are the ones that help teach you the lessons for how you show up in the rest of the world. So because I didn't change my mindset, I chose my mindset. What you are not changing, you are choosing, ladies and gentlemen. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I was in a fixed mindset because I put myself there. I could not get out of my own way. I was not putting the oxygen on myself. I was not breathing into my gifts. I was literally blocking everything so that I could grow with my dad for myself, so that I could get to a place where I was moving different. And so when I got the call that my dad was not likely going to make it through the night unless he started to respond to the treatment, I made a choice right then. I decided to change my mindset. T to the Tam, welcome in. And I decided that I was going to be a vitamin for myself. I needed to surrender the pain management practices, and I needed to feel all of the disappointment. I needed to feel the frustration. I needed to acknowledge that it was present so that I could heal from it. Because guess what? You don't heal through pain management. What we know about a painkiller is that it solves a temporary incident. True chronic pain requires work and attention and all of the things that are needed to resolve for that, right? Anybody ever broke a bone? Bones don't heal right away, ladies and gentlemen. That's why, right? You have to immobilize them, and you have to feel through all of that to be able to heal from it, so that when you take that cast off, you can then do the work to build those muscles back up. I had atrophied so much emotionally with my father that I did not have the muscles to be able to prepare myself to deal with him. So when I had to surrender those painkillers, and then I had to get into a place where I was saying, now I want to grow. I want to be the bigger and better person. I want to have a better mindset. I want to show up different. And not only that, because I want to be the best Kim that I can be. I don't want him to leave this earth, because guess what, ladies and gentlemen, he would have passed on and I still would have been dealing with the pain of something that I had a choice to change. So once I recognized that I had a choice to change my mindset, then I decided that I could grow. I could move forward. I didn't have to be stuck. I decided that I was going to be my own vitamin, and that then allowed me to be a vitamin to my dad. So when I would go visit my dad, I would be intentional about saying, and it got to a point, you all, where he stopped talking and he was not able to eat any longer. And he was there. And when I would come in, he would squeeze my hand. And so what did I do? I started bringing other vitamins to the hospital rooms and to the nursing homes that he was. So I told you guys, my dad liked music. So I would bring my speaker and I would stream jazz music for him. And I know it had an impact, because one time I brought it, I told him, I sat next to him and I brought all of my schoolwork, and I was taking a business acumen class in grad school. And I talked to him about what I was doing in school. And I told him, I said, you know what, Dad, you were right. Thank you, Kayla. I said, you were right. Business school was the way to go. Let me tell you about some of the things that I was doing. And one of the last days that I had with him before he passed away was me sitting next to him, talking to him about all of the things that I was doing in business school, playing jazz music. And he couldn't talk to me, but I saw one tear come down his face. And I knew that that was him telling me, thank you. The minute I decided that I wanted to be a vitamin for him, ladies and gentlemen, he then benefited from it. And my ability to be a vitamin for myself made it so much easier, so that by the time he passed away, He got exactly what he wanted. The only thing he wanted, I asked him what he wanted. And he said, I just want you to hold my hand, Kim, because I'm probably going to be scared. And had I not surrendered the painkillers, ladies and gentlemen, I would not have been able to be authentically who I am for him the day that he left here. Okay. And it was exactly what he wanted. He said, I just want it to be you and me. And sure enough, it was just the two of us. And I told him, I said, okay, here we are. And I held his hand and he got out of here. And it was just like that. And in the very end, I was able to be a vitamin for him. And that, ladies and gentlemen, comes as the result of choosing to change my mindset. Stop being fixed. Stop being focused on the things that don't work and being intentional about saying growth mindset and opening myself up to a different type of pain management, to being in a position where I can say, hey, listen, we are on our way to bigger and better. I can't stay in this place with my dad because he's going to leave here no matter what. But you can't stay in this place even after he's gone. So you need to choose to change this, Kim, or you will forever be stuck. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is being the boss of your own blueprint. That is how you decide to be your own vitamin. That's how you decide to make sure that you are taking care of yourselves. I changed my mental attitude. I decreased my emotional capacity, and I had a full-on mindset shift so that I could grow with the flow. And if you've been with me for the last 3 months, that's been the theme of the blueprint for August, September, and October. It's this grow with the flow series. And so that's what I did. I had to move from that fixed mindset and flow into that growth mindset so that I could be a vitamin for myself and for my dad towards the end of his life. So let me remind you of something, folks. Okay. It's a choice to be a vitamin or a painkiller. Whatever you are not changing, you are choosing. The choice is yours on being a painkiller. The choice is yours on being a vitamin. The choice is yours on anything that you do. I encourage you to choose the vitamins that you want to surround yourselves with. And I encourage you to be careful about what your pain management strategy is going to be. Okay. Yes, Natasha, you can say that. Okay. If that's what makes you happy. Right. It is a choice, ladies and gentlemen. Choose wisely. Whatever you are not changing, you are choosing. That is Kim Jim number 1. Kim Jim number 2 is you have to feel to heal. Okay. Kim Jim number 3 is avoidance is not a strategy. All right. And the last one is don't let humility be a liability. My Lock Journey or K-Lock, you can go ahead and put the raid message up so we can be on time. You all know how DJ LV is. He is prompt with his stuff. Okay. So we want to make sure that we get to him on time. All right. So there are your Kim Jims for the day. Listen, to everybody who came in on the raid, right? There he is, right? Listen, I'm with you, LV. You see them putting everything up. We are on our way to you right now, sir. Natasha, Kim Jim number 1 is, whoa, I don't even remember the order that I said. So do you have the feel to heal? Avoidance is not a strategy. Don't let humility be your liability. Oh, whatever you are not changing, you are choosing. There you go. Okay. So 4 Kim Jims for the day, real quick, so that we can get to LV on time, because I know he's waiting. All right. And he's up and running. So the first one is whatever you are not changing. Okay. Thank you, K-Lock. I appreciate you. All right. So let's get these Kim Jims up real quick. So the first one is whatever you are not changing, you are choosing. That's the first one. Thank you, Prod. I appreciate you. Copy the raid message, ladies and gentlemen. It is up and we are going to be on our way in just a moment. I think we're just waiting for him to get up and running. Okay. The second one is this. You have to feel to heal. The third one is avoidance is not a strategy. All right. Even if we employ it as a strategy, I'm telling you, it's not a strategy. All right. And the fourth one is do not let your humility be a liability. Okay. So those are your Kim Jims for the day. I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for being here. Listen, Rebel Link, DJ D Man. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you, K-Lock. I appreciate you. Right. Panic at the Pin Show. Good afternoon. Good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. All right. Listen, folks, to the Rebel Link, to DJ D-Man, Ray Domingo, DJ Classics, Jennifer, and Am I missing anybody? I think I got everybody. Thank you so much for the raids. Thank you all for rocking with the blueprint. Shout out to everybody on the West Coast, everybody who is in Europe, right? And Asia, right? All of these things that are there. All of that, right? I am so grateful that you all chose to give the blueprint your time. Thank you for the hype train, for all the gifted subs, for all of the bits, for those who have made donations throughout the entire 2 hours that we have been here. Massive shout out to my mod squad today, My Like Journey, who was always in the passenger seat with me, and a massive shout out to Lock and Key Media, who is right here in this door. Kayla, are you coming out to say hello before we raid out of here? He might open the door and stick his hand out right away. He just told me no, he is not coming out. He is not coming out at all. So listen, folks, you see this door right here? He's back there. He is in there. And so all of this gloriousness that you see, the beautiful setup, all of that, he is responsible for all of that. Natasha Archer, thank you so much for the boss bits, right? He's not shy, Big Stove. He's just being himself right now. So listen, to everybody who came in for the first time, all the new Kayla. DJ Nick 10, thank you so much for the boss bits. Appreciate you. Listen, to everybody who came in for the first time, to everybody who is a new follower, to everybody who is supporting this space. K-Lot, right? To everybody who is supporting this space, I cannot thank you all enough for giving me the opportunity to come check you out, in particular at a different time. I normally stream on Tuesdays and Thursday mornings at 8 a.m. You can certainly catch me there, but it feels like this time slot might work for me to connect with more of you. So I am going to keep this opportunity open. K-Lock or My Journey, is he up? Listen, you all know that I will answer questions and I will keep talking as long as I have you. Okay, thank you so much. I will keep talking as long as I have you. So, okay, awesome. So with that said, I want to go back and say one additional thing about being a vitamin or being a painkiller that I cut out of the stream today for time purposes. When you are, I knew that was going to happen. Thank you, K-Lock. So I want to end with this, ladies and gentlemen. When you are choosing to be a vitamin or a painkiller, let me say this. The vitamin is always going to foster a growth mindset. And I opened up talking about mindset, mental attitude, emotional capacity, and all of those things. Your mindset is always going to be related to the direction that you want to go in. If you're open to receiving, if you're open to working through the pain, if you're open to saying, I know that the space that I'm in is not in service to me, and therefore I cannot be in service to others, you may need to evaluate your pain management strategy. What am I doing to numb? What am I doing to support? What am I doing to take care of? Because as long as you are managing the pain, you are in a fixed mindset. That fixed mindset means I'm choosing to stay here because I can navigate through this chaos. I understand the crazy. I know where the landmines are, and I can navigate all the way around them. I don't have to do anything different. I know what I'm doing. If I leave you with anything, it is this, right? You can choose whatever you want, but just understand that if you choose a fixed mindset, you close yourself off to opportunity, to growth, and the ability to be the best person that you can be. Fixed mindset means you're not being the boss of your own blueprint. You are giving away your power. And I want to encourage you to operate in your power and own it. Being in a growth mindset, choosing the ability to say, I'm going to be a vitamin for myself first so that I can then be a vitamin to all the spaces and places that I'm in, because I want to go and be additive to it. I want to make it better. I want to be the boss of my own blueprint. Okay. All right. So I think LV is live. Thank you, T to the Tam. Thank you, Queen Shauna. I think LV is live. So go ahead and copy the raid message. I'll do it. Okay, like, no worries. Okay. I'm all good on that. So we are going to get ourselves together and we are going to go over to see. I know DJ LV, I believe that My Like Journey has put the raid message into the chat. So we are going to do that. Give me just 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get this up. All right. Sight Giver, good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, copy the raid message. We are on our way to the next stop on the Beats for a Cure train. We are going to go show some love to I Know DJ LV, and we are going to come barreling in there with all of this Blueprint Boss energy. Massive shout out to my mod squad, My Lock Journey, Lock and Key Media. Cannot do this without you. Thank you so much. Listen, y'all, K-Lock just didn't even, he just said, do you need me to have a sword today? And I said, yes. And so he volunteered in real time. So appreciate you, K-Lock, for the beautiful space. Thank you all for all the love, for the compliments, for supporting this. Please continue to support Beats for a Cure. We are rolling through this all the way through next Tuesday. So I will see everybody on the other side, okay, whenever we make it over to I Know DJ LB, and I will see you all in other Beats for a Cure streams, okay? So with that, love, 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 appreciate the support. Thank you so much for being here. Let's go check out our friend I Know DJ LB.